Hello and welcome back. In this Black Excellist presentation, we will highlight Susan L. Taylor, the legendary editor-in-chief for Essence magazine.
Welcome to blackexcellist.com, the site where we share Black excellence, opulence, and affluence. Our mission is to inspire you as we enlighten you.
Susan L. Taylor is a national treasure. The beautiful, flawless face of Essence magazine for almost 4 decades is synonymous with beauty, intelligence, grace, and what we now call Black girl magic. Susan was the editorial director of Essence for 6 years, and before that she was the editor-in-chief for 19 years. In her monthly column, In the Spirit, she used the powerful editorial to speak to millions of Black women on a personal, emotional, and spiritual level. Her message to simply love yourself resonated with thousands of both men and women who were motivated by her advice on finance and prayer. In this original Black Excellist video, we will be featuring Susan L. Taylor, Essence magazine editor. So without further ado, let's get started. 1. Susan L. Taylor was born in New York City to an entrepreneurial family. Susan L. Taylor was born in the Harlem neighborhood of New York City on January 23, 1946. Taylor was born to West Indian parents. Her mother was Trinidadian and her father was from St. Kitts. The family lived in East Harlem in a 1-bedroom tenement. Taylor was raised in a strict yet loving environment. Entrepreneurship and business ownership ran in Susan Taylor's family. Her great-grandmother had a soda business in Trinidad and a hot pepper sauce business in Harlem. Her grandmother was a businesswoman as well, who owned a tailor shop and a bar. Her grandmother supported her uncle in buying a building for him to open a spirit store. Susan's father was also an entrepreneur who was the first Black American to own a store in Harlem, which was a ladies' clothing boutique in one of the busy commercial areas of the borough. Working in her father's shop, Susan gained an enormous amount of business experience, but more importantly, she learned how to present herself and gained quite a bit of confidence. 2. Taylor's grandmother was the most influential person in her childhood. Taylor credits her grandmother with being the most influential person in her life as a child. Her grandmother would come pick her and her brother up to stay with her during the summers in Englewood, New Jersey. Her grandmother taught her about the determination of her forebears to make a better life for themselves. Her grandmother would take them to the beaches and lakes in upstate New York. Her grandmother was instrumental in exposing her to a world far beyond what their parents could afford. This had a great impression on Susan as she started to dream about life outside of her current living arrangements. 3. Taylor started her own cosmetic product line catering to Black women. In her early 20s, a young Susan Taylor wanted to become an actress. She was training for acting with the Negro Ensemble Company, the New York-based theater company. Taylor admired Dorothy Dandridge in the movie Carmen Jones and was understudying the lead actress in a 3-character play at the Booth Theater on Broadway. However, acting wasn't her forte, and she decided to pursue a career in cosmetics. Taylor would go on to compete cosmetology school and became a licensed cosmetologist. Given her entrepreneurial genetics, she started a custom blended cosmetics line for women of color called Nakwai Cosmetics, named after her daughter. This was one of the only companies at the time that created beauty products exclusively for African American women. Although her product line was well received in African American communities and in the Caribbean, Taylor was interested in expanding her career. She was married at the time, and her husband also was a businessman who owned 2 beauty salons. However, they would soon divorce, and her ex-husband would retain ownership of the cosmetics company. 4. Taylor was hired by Essence magazine and would become editor-in-chief. Divorced and a single mother without a college degree, Taylor understood that she needed to carve out a path of her own to be able to support herself and her young daughter. She became interested in Essence magazine, a fledgling publication catering to African American women, after discovering that they were looking to hire a new beauty editor. Coincidentally, the executive team at Essence had taken note of Taylor due to the popularity of her cosmetic line. Taylor approached the then editor-in-chief, Ed Lewis, for the position. And in 1970, at the age of 23, Essence magazine hired Taylor as their freelance beauty editor. Although Susan Taylor knew nothing about journalism and never attended college, she was a licensed cosmetologist and knew the basics of hair and the fundamentals of makeup for skin. As a cosmetic business owner, Taylor understood the specific needs and concerns of Black women and what our sisters needed to be healthy and to thrive. Taylor soon became responsible for fashion as well as beauty. Taylor would serve as fashion and beauty editor for 10 years, and in 1981, she was promoted to editor-in-chief. Taylor had a knack for building high-performance teams, and she took great pride in treating them well, training them well, and paying them well. During the 1980s, Taylor would have to maintain a healthy and productive work-life balance as she raised her daughter and climbed the corporate ladder at Essence. All of this while attending night school to earn a bachelor's degree in business management from Fordham University. 5. In the Spirit challenged readers to use change as an opportunity to grow. Taylor was able to connect with Essence readers in a personal and meaningful way through her monthly inspirational column, In the Spirit. The inspirational and motivational editorial became a very popular feature on Essence magazine, as it challenged readers to transcend their fears and face the inevitable challenges in their lives. In addition to its autobiographical reflections, Taylor addressed such diverse topics as sexuality, domestic violence, male-female relations in the African American community, racial injustice, police brutality, Black history, and the meaning of Africa for African Americans. Offering her insights in the form of general advice, Taylor would frequently stress the need for positive and empowering thought, for spirit and faith among Black women and throughout Black America in the ongoing personal and collective struggle against racism. In 1993, Taylor collected a number of these essays as well as new ones for her book, In the Spirit, the inspirational writings of Susan L. Taylor. In this deeply personal book, Taylor wrote that it was about the reader's healing as well as hers. In the Spirit became a national bestseller. 6. Taylor is the driving force behind the magazine's success stories. Taylor would build upon her success and expand her roles and responsibilities as the beloved Essence magazine. She became vice president of Essence magazine's publisher, Essence Communications Publications. In 1986, Taylor served as the host and executive producer of The Essence, a syndicated television program revolving around a 30-minute interview series. The syndicated program would be broadcast on more than 50 stations in more than 60 countries for 4 years. Taylor was named Senior Vice President by 1993 and promoted to Director of Essence Communications Publications Director in 2000. In addition to adding the Essence television program, Taylor helped Essence magazine grow into unimaginable levels. Taylor was in charge of Essence's images, the covers, the beauty pages, the style aesthetic of the magazine. She guided the publication of the monthly upscale magazine from cover to cover. During Taylor's tenure at Essence magazine, the subscriptions grew from a mere 50,000 to more than 1.6 million. And although the paid circulation was around 1.5 million, the pass-along circulation and actual readers were estimated at more than 8 million, with a quarter of the readers being men. Essence magazine designed and organized the Essence Music Festival, the nation's largest annual gathering of African American musical talent. The 3-day event has been going on annually since 1995, attracting more than 500,000 to the festivities in New Orleans. 7. Taylor struggled as a 24-year-old divorced single mother. Taylor married William Bowles in 1967, 3 years before the birth of their daughter. They were blessed with one daughter, Shayna Nakwai. Taylor described the marriage as a violent one. They would separate when Shayna was just 6 weeks old. Her marriage would eventually end in divorce in 1971. At the time that Taylor was going through the divorce process, she had already joined Essence, but she was only making $500 a month. As a single mother, Taylor struggled both a personal and financial crisis. It was a very painful situation, and she felt that she was actually having a heart attack at the age of only 24. The incident was so severe that she ended up in the emergency room of a hospital. However, the doctor told her that she had not suffered a heart attack, but that it was actually an anxiety attack. As she was walking home from the hospital in Manhattan to the Bronx, Taylor stopped at a church and heard a sermon that changed her life. The sermon encouraged Taylor to embrace positive thinking, but she also credits her daughter Shayna for helping her remain focused through those difficult and challenging times. Shayna became her anchor, which empowered and compelled Taylor to live with purpose. In 1989, Susan L. Taylor married writer and poet Kefra Burns. Kefra Burns and Susan Taylor live in New York and live their lives seeking ways to help make the world a better place. 8. Taylor devoted herself to the National Cares mentoring movement. Taylor eventually retired from Essence magazine after 37 years in 2008 to dedicate her time and efforts solely on Essence Cares, which would evolve into the National Cares mentoring movement. Essence Cares was founded in 2006 in the wake of Hurricane Katrina. Taylor was distressed by all of the vulnerable youngsters who needed the love, guidance, and support of caring adults in the wake of the national disaster. Due to all of the responsibilities she held at Essence, she could not continue to run the magazine and provide the day-to-day support needed to help advance the Black community with her new passion. Through her National Cares mentoring movement, she is able to carry out her divine mission to secure, heal, and transform the lives of disadvantaged Black children by inspiring, recruiting, and mobilizing masses of caring mentors. Today, CARES operates in 58 cities and is the recognized national leader in the recruitment, training, and engagement of Black mentors. 9. Taylor has received numerous awards and accolades. An inspiration to millions of women, men, and children, young and old, Taylor's long list of accomplishments and contributions to the culture cannot be underestimated. Many in Black media and media in general recognize Taylor's tireless work and charitable contributions. In 1986, Taylor received a Candace Award from the National Coalition of 100 Black Women. In 1987, she received the Matrix Award from New York Women in Communications. The Magazine Publisher of America gave Taylor its Henry Johnson Fisher Award, considered one of the industry's highest honors, in 1998. She was the first African American woman to receive the award. In 2002, Taylor was inducted into the American Society of Magazine Editors Hall of Fame for her work at Essence. Exceptional Women in Publishing presented Taylor its 5th annual Exceptional Women in Publishing Award in 2003. In 2006, the NAACP gave Taylor its President's Award. In 1982, Taylor was given Howard University's Excellence in Media Award. In 1988, Taylor received an honorary doctorate from the nation's first Black college, Lincoln University. She was also awarded a second honorary doctorate from the University of Delaware in 1993. She was the recipient of the First Person Award from the New York City Mission Society. Taylor was also honored as a Legacy Award recipient at Black Enterprise's 2015 Women of Power Summit. 10. Taylor leaves a legacy of personal, professional, and community excellence. Award-winning journalist and author Susan L. Taylor has a legacy that reads class, grace, power, and leadership. As the former editor-in-chief of Essence from 1981 through 2000, Taylor was responsible for calling the shots at a publication which many consider to be the Bible for Black women. Not to mention her monthly column, In the Spirit, inspired and motivated Essence readers to find a healthy balance between the demanding world of work and business with the personal world of family and friendship. Her monthly articles were popular with African American females who were historically undervalued and underrepresented by media companies. Furthermore, Taylor has made a lifelong commitment to the education and spiritual upliftment of the Black community. Today, she travels widely to address conferences for African American women, encouraging mentorship for at-risk children, and speaking on the state of Black America. Under her expert guidance, Essence magazine experienced phenomenal growth and became a fixture in African American living rooms around the country.
We appreciate the fact that you stayed with us until the end. Thank you for spending time with us, and don't forget to like this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so that you never miss a video. Bye for now. We will see you tomorrow.